Hello and welcome to our 2022 Art League Student and Faculty Show. I'm Suzanne Bethel, Executive Director, and on behalf of the Art League, we are so delighted to have you here today to celebrate the talent and hard work of our students, our teachers, and our staff. Thank you to our students who have gathered together and created an amazing artistic environment throughout this year. And thank you to our outstanding faculty for their incredible dedication and creative inspiration. They have provided that to our students individually and collectively and to everyone here in our community, and we thank you for that. And thanks to all of our student show participants today. We are deeply appreciative for your patience and flexibility and for inspiring us during these past 2 years as we have redesigned our approach to visual arts education and community programs. Truly, the Art League would not be here today without you, and want to applaud you for creating and gathering together in so many different ways and formats to fill 7,000 class seats this academic year. What an achievement. It's just amazing. And special thanks to our school and our communication staff for supporting the program today and so many others throughout the year. As we all know, sometimes infrastructure and technology are only visible when things go wrong, and you continue to work every day to make sure it goes right for us. You are our invisible propeller that sustains our mission, and we offer a thanks to you today. We are excited to present the student show today to our community, and we are delighted that so many of our participants and award winners are also showcasing their artwork in the Art League Gallery, including our fabulous faculty artist, Jin Chen Han, who will be presenting his solo show, Beautiful World, in our gallery now through August 7th. And we have so many other people to celebrate, but right now we just want to get into the inspiring artwork and the people that have made up this program year. So let's get started.
Hello, I'm here with Scott Hutchison. He is the juror for our student faculty show. Scott Hutchison is an American figurative artist based in Arlington, Virginia. He has over 20 years of combined teaching and professional art experience. Much of that time was devoted to teaching painting and drawing at the Art League. He is currently an associate professor of practice in painting and drawing at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., and has a home studio in Arlington, Virginia. Scott's artwork has been featured in a variety of venues regionally and nationally. Most notably, his work was accepted for display in Dover, Delaware at Biggs Body 2019, where his piece titled Vertigo was acquired by the Biggs Museum of American Art's permanent collection. In 2021, Scott had a solo exhibition titled Flux at the Fred Schneider Gallery in Arlington. And most recently, he has shown in a number of group shows, including Mind, Body, Soul at the Smith Center for Healing Arts in Washington, D.C., Painting the Figure Now at the Zal B Gallery Art Center in Chicago, and Inside Out, Outside In at RJD Gallery in Bridgehampton, New York. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks, Julia. I appreciate it. I studied art at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm from Iowa originally. And so I didn't go too far, but I studied painting there and got my master's in painting at GW. I got my master's in 90, what was that, 90, it was so long ago, 98. So I don't know if I can consider myself a local.
You're local, you've been around here.
Yeah. I ask that, especially of people who were born here. I'm like, am I considered a local? What's the time frame on that?
You're in your home studio and we see your work in the background. Describe your artistry, Scott.
My art, I'm primarily a figurative painter. A lot of the work you see here behind me is derived from a series of pieces I did over about a 10-year period. I used to do oil painted animations. So they were animations that consisted of about anywhere from 10 to 100 paintings. And that each frame that I painted slightly shifted. And so you could, when you ran it back in a movie format, you would see the painting move. And so that was very arduous and very time consuming. And I thought, how can I encapsulate the idea of movement, that animated feel in a still image? So my work right now is dealing with memory, time displacement. I will pack a number of figures into one scene. So you see, hopefully see that sense of memory or time.
And how did you come to the Art League?
I was at GW grad school, and I was still in grad school, actually. It was my thesis year. And so I think I was about 26, roughly, 25 or 26. And Jerry Gordon, I believe, was the director at the time of the school, and she gave me a chance. You know, I needed that stepping stone into the because at GW they didn't have a graduate teaching assistant opportunity. So I needed to see actually if I wanted to teach, quite honestly, because it's interesting when you go, at least my path, I did 4 years in undergrad and 3 years in grad school, and my path was to teach. So I had the sense that I wanted to do that, but I didn't really know until I went to the Art League. And so that was sort of like a great bridge. I taught there for since '98, and 21 years, 20 to 21 years. So a long time. It was hard. It was difficult leaving, honestly, retiring. But it was just my opportunity at Georgetown. I took that and I couldn't do it all, even though I wanted to, be a superhero and tackle everything. I'd say the biggest moment or memory would be I met my wife at the Art League. She worked in the office. She worked in like bookkeeping, also payroll area. Plus, she worked in the store. And I found myself Wednesday mornings buying art supplies I didn't need to go speak with her. So yeah, I met my wife there. That was the biggest most life-changing thing. I mean, we have a son, and I've stayed in the area, so the Art League was sort of like just kind of started it all, I think.
So what did you think about the work submitted for this year's show?
The work, I've juried a number of shows over the years. Probably, I don't know, I didn't count them, but roughly about 10 shows, maybe one a year, one every other year. And I would say this is easily one of the top shows, one or two shows that I've and I think it's a testament to the school itself, the faculty as well as the students. I mean, I'm biased, teaching there for over 20 years, but at the same time, teaching at Georgetown and knowing the quality of work, not only of my students, but other faculty members' work. Yeah, it was a very consistent show, consistently good. So it was hard choosing the words, quite honestly. When I was jurying, I was trying my best to look at a specific genre or style, and I was trying to find something that was outside the actual imagery to hold on to, be it an emotion or a sense of a light or something that kind of hit me, like I said, that was outside the actual thing.
Did anything surprise you?
I wonder if I should go with the best in show, but because that one surprised me. That was a piece that Anna's her piece. It was as soon as I saw it, I kind of knew right away that this was something from my eye was something different, was something new, that had a traditional bent to it. And this is kind of what I was looking for, because I know the Art League, I taught there long enough to know students usually want to know how to make something look real, or to have a sort of, it leans toward more tradition, more craft. And so her piece was surprising because it seemed to have both the craft as well as a message or mood, like a meaning, like there was a human element to it.
What is your advice for students who are submitting works for an exhibition?
A couple just general things that I recommend. One is sort of the standard that you hear jurors say, is just to make sure it's a really sharp image, nothing blurry. Right. So, but that's sort of like maybe that's a given. But one piece of advice I found over the years, because I've submitted to hundreds of shows myself, and I used to have a stack, and I still wish I had them to show you. At some point I tossed them, but I had a stack, and I thought I would, of rejection letters that I thought I would do an art piece about. But I found over the years that I don't apply to, sometimes when you're starting out, you apply to every show. It's like, I'm just trying to get in this show, all media show. But I found that over the years that the success rate is better if your work really fits in the curatorial plan of the show, whether it be the title, or if the juror, juror's work, not necessarily know the juror, but know the juror's work, and you kind of see where their aesthetic is at. There's just a little bit of research, because when I first started out, I was doing, like 5 a week, sending out to get shows, and they would just be to random, like, I want to show here, I'd love to show here, but I wasn't really thinking about necessarily the title or the meaning of the show. And so I had more rejections than I find I do now. But
what did you enjoy most about teaching at the Art League?
It has to be the students. I mean, the staff and the administration also. I mean, as well as the other. Now I'm saying everybody. The faculty. The people there are great. I think, honestly, they're very. Very encouraging, open. I mean, the administration kind of let me take charge of my class. I could teach it how I wanted it to teach, and so I could try new things. And the students were always open for that, I think. Very one thing that I really enjoyed about the Art League was the fact that, and this is what helped me mostly to teach now, is that everyone's skill was wide ranging. So I'd have a class and you'd have someone who'd never painted or drawn before. And then you have a student that had taken my class for 4 or 5 years. Or even a student that was in an advanced class from another faculty member taking the course. And so they had a different style.
What would you tell somebody who is thinking about taking a course at the Art League?
In a classical sense, the answer would be, what is your goal? Like, what do you want to, what do you want to do in the end? Mm-hmm. And then there would be a kind of a pathway to that, I think. Well, but of course, painting and drawing, that's if you may not have the, it's helpful to have that, the tutelage, the mentorship of someone. I got students asking me all the time, like, what do I take next? It's like they'd take my basic drawing class, like, there's no drawing 2, or there's no, what do I do next? And so it was usually, I would have to ask the students more questions to kind of like guide them. But I found for me, I don't know if this helps anyone else, but for me, if I were to take a class, it was, I guess I have the convenience of having a studio. But for me, I would end up taking probably ceramics or metalworking, sculpture, glass, something that I don't have the supplies or the ability to do in my home, mm-hmm. So.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for talking to us today, telling us how you came to pick your award-winning pieces and telling us a bit about yourself.
Thank you so much for the great questions and the opportunity to come back to the Art League. Really, it's a little virtual, but but thank you so much for thinking of me and choosing me to jury the student faculty show.
You're welcome. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Hello, I'm here with Brittany Cardoza. She is the recipient of the Jenny Leah Knight Creativity Award for students for her work resurfacing, her painting. Welcome, Brittany.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you for having me.
How long have you taken classes at the Art League?
Actually, it will be a year this month. My first class was with Brian Jernigan in the abstract art course in 2021.
How long have you been a painter?
I've always really loved art and I've dabbled in different mediums, but I haven't really been seriously painting until this past year.
And how did you learn about the Art League?
Well, I had initially been taking some pottery classes in the area, and during the pandemic, that was a little bit harder to get into with social distancing. And I was looking for something affordable and fun, and I came across the Art League when I was walking by the Torpedo Factory one day downtown, and it's like, this is it.
So this is the first student faculty show you've entered.
Correct, yes.
So what was your reaction when you learned you'd won this prize?
It was extremely validating. I really would like to pursue a career in art therapy, and I'm working on building a portfolio right now. So just knowing that other people appreciated what I was putting so much effort into was really, really wonderful.
Talk about resurfacing. What was your inspiration for that painting?
So oftentimes late at night when I can't sleep, I start going through Pinterest and I'm looking at the things other artists have done for inspiration and ideas. And I came across an earlier work, I think about 2010, from a Vancouver artist named Sarah Delaney. And she's really progressed, and I was inspired by her ideas and structures of color and things like that being similar to what things I wanted to paint. And then I just was talking to Brian one day and I thought, what would be cool about adding some mixed media to this? And found some Gossamer paper at Blick that I thought was going to be fun to work with.
What has this course at the Art League been like for you? What did you enjoy about it?
Well, I've actually taken it 3 times now because I enjoyed it so much. I feel like we're all in the Brian Jernigan School of Art and we keep coming back because it's just like a really fun place to come and paint big and have the camaraderie and get other people's opinions. It's been really nice. I've really found a community here.
What would you tell someone who might be considering an art class at the League?
Come with me. Yeah, Wednesday nights, let's go and enjoy together and create together. It's a great environment.
Is there anything else you'd like to add that I might not have asked?
I just think that this is such a special program, and I'm not sure I found things like this in previous communities I've lived in, and I really thank everyone at the Art League for the amount of work that they put into everything, and the amount of shows that you turn out every year is just incredible. It's really a wonderful thing.
Well, thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
I'm here with Ajay Chitnis, who is the recipient of an Equal Merit Award for his stained glass piece, Blue Turn. Hi, Ajay, how are you?
Hi, very nice to meet you.
Tell us, how long have you taken classes at the Art League?
I took my first class, I actually checked on my phone today to try to track it, in 2018, and might have taken one slightly earlier, but the one in 2018 was with Donna Reinsel with doing metal sculpture. I've mostly taken metal sculpture with Donna many times, but during COVID, or just before COVID, I had gone to Morocco and learned about Islamic geometry. And because of that, I thought some of the things that I was learning about Islamic geometry would translate well to stained glass, which is why I took the stained glass class.
Is this the first student show you've entered? Student faculty show?
No, actually, I had something in a show earlier. One of the things I had done with Donna, which in fact is right here.
Ah.
It's a metal sculpture mobile. And so there it is.
What year did you enter that in? In 2018? Do you remember?
I can't remember. I took her class many times, and this might have been, certainly it was before the pandemic.
Okay.
So I can't remember. That's the first time I actually had it in the show. But
That was-
that was kind of fun.
What was your inspiration for your stained glass piece, Blue Turn?
Well, so as I said, I had just before the pandemic, I had gone for a holiday to Morocco, and have been doing mosaics as a hobby for a while before that. But after Morocco, I got very much more inspired to do a very different style of mosaics, where the shape of the mosaic pieces are center to the whole thing. So in fact, I got pieces from Morocco to make this table, for example, that you can see over here. And then I got a book about the geometers of ancient Iran and places that actually came up with these beautiful geometric designs. Yeah.
How long did it take you to create it?
It was very interesting to take the class, because I realized that to do stained glass, your drawings and cutting and everything has to be very exacting, much more exacting than anything I had done before. So yeah, the pattern, I didn't actually create it, so I just copied it, and then it took a while to do it in the class. I think I just barely finished by the very last day of the class.
I wanted to ask you what your reaction was when you learned that you won.
Oh, I was completely surprised. And it was easy to enter this thing. So I said, well, what the heck, I'll do it. And I never thought again about it.
What do you enjoy most about taking classes at the Art League?
It is such a wonderful space to enjoy art. It's completely outside I'm a scientist by my profession. So this is completely unconnected in some ways. And I'm with this group of people. Everybody is very supportive. Everybody loves seeing what everybody else is doing. We are all encouraged by each other. The teachers are very supportive. So no, it's a really unique way to relax, to do these classes, because the 3 hours goes away like before you know what's happened, and it's this intense immersion in something that you're enjoying. You're interacting with people, and the teachers are just absolutely wonderful. It's a way of exploring aspects of yourself and what might excite and you might find enjoyable in a environment that really helps you bring it out in you. So it's nice.
Well, Ajay, thank you so much. And congratulations again on winning the Equal Merit Award for Blue Turn.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm here with Angela Bondi. She is the recipient of the John Foreman Award for artwork that includes or focuses on the human figure. And her winning work is Jeline, and it's drawing and mixed media. Welcome, Angela.
Thank you, Julia.
How long have you taken classes at the Art League?
About, I guess, 4 years now, 4.5. I started in the winter of 2018. Just being around the city, I've lived here for about 10 years or so. And so I knew about the Art League, but I just hadn't had the opportunity to take any classes. So first started about 4 years ago. So the first class I took was Rob Liberace's drawing class. And that was really the reason that I started at the Art League, is I really wanted to explore classical drawing. And I had no idea that that the Art League honestly offered such fantastic classes and had such great instructors. So I've taken a few classes with Rob, mainly drawing, some painting classes, and also I've studied quite a bit with Susan O'Neill. I've taken both her drawing classes, figure drawing classes, and recently with the COVID pandemic, I was able to start taking her watercolor classes as well. I also was able to take Danny Dawson's oil painting class. just immediately before COVID hit. And so I haven't had another opportunity, but I will definitely study again with Danny. That was a great experience too.
So what was your reaction when you learned that you'd won this prize?
Well, I mean, I was so much not expecting it. It was really, really a surprise. I was thrilled because I never win anything in general. So I was thrilled for that reason, but I was particularly thrilled because I started off trying to explain to you why I sought out the Art League, which is I didn't feel that I could draw very well. And that's really why I was able to, found you. And then winning a prize for drawing was just, fantastic. It was like, well, I guess I made the right decision. Jolene is the model who posed for the drawing. It was a class that I took with Susan O'Neill online, and I had drawn Jolene before. I was really just observing her carefully and just, I guess, maybe trying to capture the mood she was creating. I be in the moment and just really, really observe. And I hope I caught something from her, it's just her serenity, her peacefulness, I just drew what I saw or what I felt. I actually prepared the background first, and I moved the paper and let it drip, and I actually let it dry outside, which is why it's kind of textured, because those are all like little bits of like tree, pollen and the things that just got caught into the paint. And I just had that background, and I just looked at Jolene and I thought, this works. This works with the pose, and I just kind of melded her with the background.
What have you enjoyed about taking courses at the Art League?
Many things. I guess one thing I really love that I haven't found in other art schools is the community. I think the community of other students, other artists is just fantastic. I don't want to say like home, but like a place that when I go there, I feel like, oh, I belong, I guess. I feel like I know. I guess it really has as close as you can get to the 19th century or even earlier atelier with you go and you have your other like-minded people. So it's a warm environment. I really enjoy it.
Well, thank you, Angela, and congratulations again on your John Foreman Award.
Thank you so much, Julia. It's really an honor to receive the award, and thank you so much for your time today.
Hello. I am here with Roger Banks, who is a recipient of the Equal Merit Award in this year's Student Faculty Show. Hi, Roger.
Hi.
So tell me, how long have you taken classes at the Art League?
I've taken classes for almost exactly 1 year now. I started last June in 2021. Actually, I first learned about the Torpedo Factory way back in like 1993, I think it was, when I lived in Old Town. And I just learned about it by walking by. At that time, I explored and thought it was great and took a couple open drawing classes back then. Not classes, but open draw sessions. Then did nothing at the Art League for many years until last year. I had stopped all painting and drawing ever since my daughter was born about 25 years ago. And then last Christmas, well, 2 Christmases ago, my daughter gave me a painting set and said I had to start painting again. So I started looking for classes, and that's how I ended up. First thing I thought of was the Art League.
So what was your inspiration for your winning artwork?
This painting is a portrait of my son, Nathaniel, and it's taken from a still shot of his music video. And so I'm still working on it. So that was my inspiration. Yeah, he's in a band called Arlie. He's the lead singer, songwriter, and he's actually now just released an album and going on tour.
So what was your reaction when you learned that you won?
Well, I was very happy. You know, even though it's not finished, I put a lot of work into it, but I was also kind of surprised, actually very surprised, because I just saw so many great paintings entered, and I just didn't think, because you know, there's so many things I have to do to it yet. I thought it's not going to win, but I might as well enter it, just to get it out there. I'm pretty happy with it.
What
Yeah.
have you enjoyed most about taking a course or courses at the Art League?
Well, so many things. I have to say I really love the art store. It's saved me many times because I tend to show up forgetting. Like one time I forgot all of my blue paint, so I couldn't paint it all really without that. So I had to go over to the art store, and I've forgotten brushes and palette. So it's saved me many times, and plus they have great stuff in there.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's just it's very supportive atmosphere, and the teaching has just been phenomenal.
Well, thanks a lot. It's great talking to you, and
Thank you.
congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Ramiro Solorzano. He is the recipient of the Dennis David Award for Excellence in Ceramics. Hi, Ramiro.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Yeah.
First, I want to ask you, how long have you taken classes at the Art League?
Since September of 2020, so not very long, so just a couple years.
How did you learn about us?
It actually through you folks are in my neighborhood, and so I go to the Torpedo Factory just because it's walking distance from my house, and I saw you folks had courses, so I thought it would be interesting to join, and so I did.
Tell us about Woven Vase. What was your inspiration for that? What was your process like for creating it?
Yeah, so I started with taking just throwing like just a regular vase, and I wanted to do a pattern, and so I was inspired by when I was in grad school. I studied architecture, and I got a chance to study Islamic architecture in Egypt, and I noticed a lot of the geometric patterns that they use in different buildings and different like corners and all that. So I wanted to kind of see if I could not replicate, but kind of test out geometric shapes on a round object. And so I did started with a grid, and then and kind of see where I can put tape around there. I use tape to do a glaze resist, just so that certain parts are not adhere to the glaze. And I liked it. I liked how a woven pattern, and your eye kind of follows top down, and kind of your eye follows the curvature of the actual surface of the piece. So that's how I started, and I liked it. I liked how the results. I honestly like more the process than the actual finished product. The process of actually creating the rules for the grid, and the process of actually making the pattern, and was more rewarding to me than the actual finished product. So I did enjoy that aspect of it. Like, I've learned a lot by the process of it more than at the actual finished product. I don't know if that makes sense. I wasn't expecting to win. So yeah, I was happy, and I was grateful. Yeah, it was surprising, to be honest, but I'm appreciative.
What have you enjoyed most about taking a course at the Art League, or taking courses at the Art League?
I like the community aspect, that we can all learn from each other, from even someone who's a beginner like me, from more advanced people, that we all kind of just share what we know, and we are willing to kind of learn from each other. And the instructors facilitate that. They're really supportive, and the instructors are amazing. But also, when we go to Saturday in the open studio, we all are the community aspect. Everybody wants to learn from each other. If we look at the fired pieces and we ask each other, what's that? How did you do that? And so we all learn from each other. So that's what I like about the Art League. Is very community centered. The learning, the process of making is there, and it's anybody can benefit from it. So I'm really grateful that I took that course, and I didn't really think I'd stick with ceramics. Like, I thought I'd take a course and then be done with it, but I keep taking courses over and over again. Each session, each term, I sign up. As soon as it's open, I sign up for the next session, because I didn't think I'd enjoy ceramics as much as I do right now.
Well, Ramiro, thank you for speaking with us, and congratulations again on winning the Dennis David Award for Excellence in Ceramics.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time and consideration. I'm grateful for picking me. So.
Hello, I'm here with Carol Morgan, who is the recipient of an Equal Merit Award for her work, Bus Riders Saying Google Please. Hi, Carol.
Okay, nice to see you.
Tell me, how long have you taken classes at the Art League?
For more than 15 years, mostly recently sculpture with Nicholas Gazoo, my first teacher, then Thanasi Papapostoulou, and finally George Bladaz. I've taken sculpture rather consistently at the Art League.
How did you find out about the Art League?
It was so long ago, Julia, I don't remember. I was always taking classes, and I started out with some painting classes there, and then got into sculpture. I thought it would teach me more about the body. I was fascinated with people.
What was the inspiration for Bus Riders Saying Google Please?
Because every time I'm on the metro, which is all the time, I draw the riders on the metro everywhere I go. I have just published a book called Metro Anthology, which is a collection of drawings of people riding on the metro with poems that explain what their thoughts are. I collaborated on the book with my friend, and he wrote the poems, and I supplied 12 pen and ink drawings of people riding the metro. I do that all the time. I have stacks and stacks of them. And it was natural to make it into a sculpture. And I included in the book a letter of commendation for my artwork by Paul Weidenfeld, the former CEO of Metro.
What was your reaction when you learned that you'd won an Equal Merit Award?
I was very pleased. I felt that I was able to connect with a broader audience than I usually meet or see. I felt it was a validation of all my work and dedication. When I have a good teacher, as I do now for sculpture, George Bladaz, it's wonderful to keep learning and seeing new things all the time. I'm just amazed at what I don't know about sculpture. Working with George, it's just a constant, and he's extremely accomplished and proficient, and I love that. From my observation, most of the teachers are very accomplished. Most of them, I would say a lot of them are like over 50 years old. Not that, age has anything to do with it, but I think they've had time to grow and experience and share. And unlike some schools, and the price is affordable for me anyway. And I just think it's a better quality of person as a teacher at the Art League than I would find in most other schools.
Well, Carol, thank you so much for speaking with us, and congratulations again on your win.
Well, thank you. It was great to see you.
I'm Mary Hallahan Cushion.
Hello, we're speaking to Mary Callahan Cushion. She is the winner of the Potomac Valley watercolorist Carolyn Grosset Gararecki Award for Best in Show Watercolor for her work, Sweet Flowers by Light-Winged Zephyrs Softly Fanned. So I want to begin by asking how long you have taken classes at the Art League, Mary?
Well, I started taking classes at the Art League in February 2021. Having lived in the area for more than 25 years and visited the torpedo factory, I was aware that there were classes being taught, but I didn't live close enough that I felt like I could easily get there for classes. And then when I looked at the schedule, it didn't really coordinate with mine until the pandemic, of course, when everything came to a crashing halt. I started taking Zoom lessons with Rachel Collins. I took her Freedom of Watercolor class. I was inspired to even look for online classes because I suddenly had some college students at home and a high school student at home all doing their lessons via Zoom, and my husband now working at home. And one daughter was painting and taking a university painting class in our living room. And I thought that was so amazing that you could continue with your lessons, even in art class on Zoom. So I started looking around and discovered that the Art League was offering online classes. And I was thrilled to give it a try. And I thought, oh, I'm just a beginner. I had taken some lessons before and I'd taken some little workshops online, but I had never taken a synchronous class. And so I was a little nervous, but I tried Rachel's class and I became completely hooked, and I absolutely loved the format and loved her class. And back in 2021, and just continued to add classes on. I really wanted to learn a lot about. And so I made a big point of looking for excellent teachers, and the Art League classes are so professional, and they're so academic as well. I literally could compare what you were doing to what I was hearing in the next room with my university students. And I was just, I feel like you're definitely on par, and it maybe even better because I was so impressed with the PowerPoint presentations, with the materials that were sent in advance, so we could kind of study, well, what is the subject we're doing? Oh, contre-jour. Well, what does that mean? And I was so impressed with how well prepared the teachers were, and how they were so interested in teaching each topic to an incredible degree each week. And I realized pretty early on that if you want to produce something that it really is demonstrative of what they're trying to teach you, you can't, in my case, I can't get it finished in a class. So I definitely put in a lot of time and practice during the week in between classes. And I'm just so grateful. I've learned a great deal from your incredible, very talented and very generous teachers you have there. I was inspired by my garden. I'm a big gardener, and I've become one, and I have a lot of Virginia native flowers, a lot of pollinators, so that I can attract the bees that needed to pollinate my vegetable garden, and decided that would be a good subject matter. But mostly it was Peter Ehrlich's class. That week, what the assignment was, limited palette. So I worked on the bees. I worked on mixing colors so that I could get that black without using black. And then I made an effort to really be sensitive to including a range of values. I was completely stunned when I heard I won. And I have to say a thank you to Scott Hutchison. I really do appreciate your choosing my painting for the Potomac Valley Watercolor Award. I really appreciate the generosity of the Art League teachers and sharing their expertise and their creativity, and most of all, their encouragement. I know that I've only done the watercolor classes, but I am intrigued to maybe try a different medium, or perhaps some drawing classes, or I don't know if I'd branch out quite yet to try ceramics, but you have everything there. It's amazing.
Yes. Well, Mary, thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And congratulations to everyone else who entered and all your hard work that you put in.
Carol Feather. She is the recipient of the Equal Merit Award for her sterling silver and copper pendant with fold that is in the student faculty show. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Julia.
I want to ask you, how long have you taken classes at the Art League?
I was thinking about that and I don't remember because the pandemic kind of interrupted things where we didn't have classes for almost 2 years, but I believe it's about 6 years at this point.
Did you always take jewelry making? Or metal?
Yes, my first set of classes were given to me by my daughter as a Christmas present, and I had done some silversmithing classes at Oberlin Conservatory when I was there. The college offered experimental college 1-credit courses, and I had done that for about a year and a half while I was at Oberlin. And then 40 years later, I was still hoping that I could someday get back into silver or jewelry, metal jewelry making. And so my daughter gave me the classes and I just never stopped.
What was your reaction when you found out?
Total shock. And excited.
Tell us about your piece. It's sterling silver and copper. It's a pendant. It's beautiful. What was the inspiration for it?
Well, it has a fairly funny backstory. The copper piece, which has the fold in it, was made after Gretchen had shown us, this was the second piece, I believe, that I had done with a fold, how to fold metal. So I was just experimenting, making something, and textured that piece before I had folded it, and then dipped it in liver of sulfur, which created the dark patina in the lower sections. And I liked the way it looked, but I was waiting for some kind of inspiration as to what to put with it. And I had finally come to the conclusion that I thought, because of the nature and the shape of it, having something that was arching out of it, sort of like maybe a fireworks thought or something. And I was toying around with maybe having some red wire or something, since the piece was black and copper. And I had started another project, which was to have been an etched horse head on silver for a cuff for my niece, who has won national horseback riding championships. And the resist that I put on the piece of silver did not hold when I put it in the etchant, and the etchant was very strong because it was a brand new container and I'd not etched silver before. So it ate through the resist and there was no semblance of recognition of a horse head, but there were some grooves left in it. So I'm thinking, okay, what on earth do I do? This is a huge chunk, 18 gauge piece of silver. So it was quite thick. And of course that adds the expense of it. And I started putting it with this copper piece and turning it around, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, this might work. Part of this might work. So I cut it and finished all the edges on the silver, cleaned it all up, and then put it through liver of sulfur, thinking, okay, it's going to turn black. But I put it in and immediately took it out and was just floored at the range of colors that were in it, because it's not what I had expected. Again, I had never put liver of sulfur on silver. So I looked at it, I put the two of them together, and I thought, oh my gosh. So that was it.
Eureka.
And then I made the neck wire to complement one of the colors that was in the silver.
What do you enjoy about the classes you take at the Art League?
It lets me be really creative in something else that I love, and you're constantly learning, constantly being challenged for designs and thought. And even though I don't have time to participate in all of the homework assignments that Gretchen gives out, they're thought-provoking, and I enjoy when I have the time to do them. But it also is a learning curve and a chance to experiment with new things. But I have a lot of freedom to do the pieces that I want to do. And each piece that I make is unique, so it's always a fresh start. the class that I take, there are at least a half a dozen or more of us who continue to take classes on a regular basis. So it's become kind of like a family in the class setting, and I really, really look forward to it. Katu always helps me with my making.
I bet.
The other kiddie's name is Wesa, and he always comes too when I'm working in my home shop.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Carol, and congratulations again.
Thanks, Julia.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Houston Murphy. He is the winner of an Equal Merit Award for his ceramic piece, Genie Jar 4. Hi, Houston.
Hi.
So, how long have you been taking classes at the Art League?
Well, I've been taking Art League classes for over 4 years now.
And how did you learn about the league?
For decades now, I've been going down to the torpedo factory, and I got to know a couple of the people down there who have storefronts in the torpedo factory, and one of them was Lisa Schumer, and she recommended that I take a class with the Art League, so that's what I did. The only class that I've taken is with Carlos Beltran, and that's the hand building ceramics class.
Tell us what the inspiration was behind Genie Jar 4.
It's a collaborative piece. I don't know whether you can see this or not.
Oh, yes.
This was made in 1986, and it was a collaboration between my sister and I.
Wow.
And that's the inspiration for this, for my Genie jars. And so I have, as you can see, it was Genie Jar 4, but this was the prototype for all of them. And I call them Genie jars because it's kind of like, what do you call a curio container that you put your rings in, or you put your coins in, or whatever, large enough for dentures. And so I decided, I was going over some names with my wife, and we decided on Genie jars. A lot of people, they've been getting a lot of interest from a lot of people, and my fellow classmates are always wondering, wow, have you made another one? Have you made another one? Have you made? So I've made about 8 so far.
Oh, wow. Does it take you long to craft them?
It takes me 8 hours. I've clocked myself. It takes me 8 hours to actually make the jar, not including the time it takes to do the first firing, then do my underglaze, and then the final firing. So it's 8 hours.
What was your reaction when you learned that you'd won the prize, the Equal Merit Award?
Well, my wife actually is the person who told me, because we have a shared email account for, the kinds of common stuff that, the two of us are interested in, news groups and things like that. And we were really excited because she was the person who she's my best friend. And I asked her opinion on what pieces, out of all of the pieces that I've made in the last 2-3 years, which piece I should put in. And she's the one who selected the Genie jar that actually won the prize. So we were really tickled to death. We were excited, and I sent out email blasts to all of my family and friends. I come from an artistic family, and so, everybody's tickled to death. For example, I take my classes on Sunday evenings. It helps me to ground myself, to get ready for the work week. And I feel really rejuvenated and happy when I go to work on Monday. because Sunday evening I did something that I really enjoy doing. It really has, for the last 4 years, it's really has changed. It has been like adding seasoning to my life. And so I would say to anybody, and the funny thing about it is that over on the annex, we get people who walk by and peek through the windows, and I'm one of the people who opens up the door and says, "This is an art class with the Art League," and I give them all kinds of information. They may be with their kids, and I say, "Yeah, we have classes for kids and for old folks just like me." So yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
Well, thank you so much, Houston.
absolutely.
And congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Pleasure meeting you.
I'm here with Peggy Schifrin. She is the recipient of an Equal Merit Award for her bubble necklace. Welcome, Peggy.
Thank you. Well, I don't know if you realize this, but I think that I am probably the oldest and or longest standing student in the jewelry department. I've been taking classes for more than 20 years. Back in those days, the Art League sent out unsolicited catalogs for the school. So I think I got a catalog, and I think that's how I first heard of the Art League school. I knew about I'd been to the torpedo factory, and so I was familiar with that, but I don't think I knew there was a school or anything until I got that catalog.
Talk about bubble necklace. What was your inspiration for it? How did you create it?
There are sort of two themes that interest me in metalsmithing. One is organic forms, things that look sort of like something in nature, but not exactly like something in nature. And the other thing is rhythmic, repeating elements kinds of things, like little dots, little holes drilled in something like this necklace. So this necklace to me is sort of a combination of both of those interests. I've been doing this for over 20 years, as I said, and I'm still somebody who, when somebody wants to buy something I've made, or if somebody wants to give me an award, I feel like I should pay them. I should pay you, for liking what I do. I don't. I mean, if somebody buys something, I take their money and send them the piece, but it's just very flattering and very gratifying. It's more, I was a lawyer for a lot of years and certainly made better money than I would ever make making jewelry, but this is more fun than pretty much anything that I do. So I love doing it. Even though I have a lot of the skills now, I could just work at home. I have a lot of equipment at home, but there's an amazing sense of community at the Art League School that, for me, it really is an important part of my life. I have friends there, people that I've known for 10 years or more. I consider the teachers my friends because I just know them really well at this point. And I keep doing it because for those reasons, and also because, the school owns a lot of expensive equipment that I don't have at home. And you get the cross-fertilization of ideas too. You see what other people are working on, and you get feedback from people in a non-judgmental way. I mean, it's really great. Everybody is very supportive of each other. And there are beginners, like in each session, there will be some beginners, and then there'll be people who've been at it for a number of years.
Well, thank you, Peggy, and congratulations on your award. Thanks. Great talking to you.
Thank you so much. Nice talking to you too, Julia. Bye.
Judy Kletz. She is the recipient of an Equal Merit Award for her painting The Road Less Traveled, which is oil and pastel. Hi, Judy.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Good to have you here. How long have you taken classes at the Art League?
A very, very, very long time. When I came to the Alexandria area after college, I actually met my husband, we got married, and he asked me why I hadn't been painting because I had pretty much stopped during college, and we happened upon the torpedo factory. And so it's been almost 35 years that I've been painting at the torpedo factory. So I started with Diane Tesler in the early days, and took part of those classes on the weekend when she had offered it, and then currently take that same class with Lisa Semerad and have greatly enjoyed it. I've taken numerous workshops over the years that you guys have offered, and I just always find there's just an amazing community at the Art League, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
How many times have you entered a student faculty show?
I have entered every year that you've offered it, because I think it's important. I think it gives the students an awesome opportunity to be able to be part of something that they ordinarily may or may not have been able to actually enter into, because they were either afraid or didn't have enough confidence that amongst their peers, or even enough time. And I think one of the wonderful things that this student show does is it gives students the opportunity to feel safe in that environment, and not, quote, be rejected, but also be very much supported by their peers as well as by their teachers. And I've had the blessing over the years of having teachers who have highly, highly encouraged us to participate as a way to get our work out there, as well as our name out there within the Art League community. I painted this painting when I retired from my corporate job at Procter & Gamble after 34 years. And I had used Robert Frost's poem in everything that I did in my corporate role. And this became a precipice for me, being at the top of the hill as I moved into my next journey, closing out my corporate career and into a consulting role, along with wanting and actually successfully painting part-time, along with my consulting practice being in that part-time role. So this has been almost 2 years, actually in a few days, that I've turned this journey. However, the painting became something that I had worked on about and well, I finished it this winter, so a little over 6-7 months ago that it actually came to be, and that I wanted to project the journey. And you'll see in the painting there's a defined path, but you're not sure what's on the other side of the hill. So
Right.
oh my goodness, I was so honored, because I like I said, this is something very personal to me. I've entered a number of other pictures and paintings and over the years, but this one was really about me. And the fact that the judges picked up on the fact that there was something, I think, that very emotionally connected was really very special. That was my intent. And oftentimes as artists, sometimes you convey that, other times you don't. I think the fact that they picked up on that was, I met my objective in what I did, although the painting is, again, very personal and, actually hangs in my office. And I look at it every day, and it gives me that inspiration to know that I can get over the other side of that hill, and there will be some bumps in the road, but I can do it. So
Oh, I love that.
I think it's that rare combination of great artist and great teacher that the Art League hones, and figures out very quickly who meets those skills. And that's not an easy task. The second thing I love about it is the community. And then the last part for me is that I'm constantly learning. Those are the three reasons that I just love and adore the Art League. And as long as you guys are there and I'm able, I'm going to continue to take classes. So.
Congratulations and thank you to all of our award winners and student artists. Thank you to all instructors who participated, and our guests for tuning in and supporting this event and hanging in there with us through the technical difficulties. The Student Faculty Show is on view online through this Friday, July 15th.